Hi guys and gals, Shane Stevenson here again, and I am in the aft engine room on USS Little Rock. Alright, there may have been small snippets here and there. I believe I did a video where I showed the emergency evaporator here to make fresh water on board, 12,000 gallons, I believe, but I don't think I've covered the whole space. So again, traditional U.S. Navy configuration: forward fire room, forward engine room, aft fire room, aft engine room. And with 4 props at about 100,000 shaft horsepower, this space was for the inboard props 2 and 3. Alright, so you come down the ladder. Alright. Throttle board, been cannibalized. Boink. For shaft 3, low pressure turbine. Right. The large piping connector system from the high pressure turbine. Right, main steam comes through here into the high pressure turbine, gets shunted through the crossover pipe into the low pressure turbine. And then, of course, as with everything else from this era, the reduction gear. Alright, helical differential gearing. Also, an air compressor. Alright, for pneumatic tools, for the sea chest down below. Right, Worthington, you've heard me talk about that company before. Huge plant here, 1,900 people work there. Deaerating tank. Right, also goes down below. Now that's right. If you've watched the video just from maybe about a month or so ago, I was in the forward engine room down below showing that condenser with the 4,606 pipes. Alright, so we won't go down here today, but I will link that video. And so that is the forward engine room, and I was actually talking about when the ship came here and they had a flood in 1978. And they called the fire department with the pumps, and they eventually pumped it out and sealed it. But that took place in the forward engine room, and while I was down there, I talked about the condensers. Alright, so moving through the center of the space. Alright, here's an emergency evaporator. Again, also a 2 effect, just like the evaporators, the main 20,000 gallon evaporators. I believe this was a 12,000 2 effect. So in total, the USS Little Rock had 2 20,000 gallon evaporators, and then 2 12,000 evaporators. So for a total of about 64,000 gallons that they could produce. If they were using all of them. Usually the 2 20,000 gallons, and then maybe a third 12,000 gallon. This one was the emergency one back here. Now coming to the starboard side of the ship. Mimicked here, throttle board, again still cannibalized. Alright, again, high pressure turbine with the crossover into the low pressure turbine right here. Alright, and then again recycling that steam down below, sea chest with the water in the condenser, back to the deaerating tank, and then forward into the aft fire room. We have a little oil centrifuge here. I talked about that on the Croaker, right, where they could test oil. And this was, again, based on, dairy farms dividing milk and cream to make some butter. So they would line the centrifuge with water. The oil would go in here, the centrifuge would turn on, and what would happen is the particulates would then push out the water. Of course, if the particulate is in the oil, it's not going to blend with the water, but what it would do is it would replace the water, and then they knew when the water was all on the outside of the drum here that they have pulled out a lot of particulates from that oil, and then they can test it from there. So you line it with water as best as you can, right? Put the oil in, spin it. The particulates that come out push the water out through the screen, and then you're left with the particulates from the oil. Here's the reduction gear for shaft number 2. And the candy cane stripe of the shaft number 2. So a lot of you know about engine rooms. I just wanted to come down here and show you guys because this is not on the tour route. Maybe we can see that. There's the shaft number 1 right there. All right, so that comes from the forward engine room and straight out. So, if you're watching, happy Memorial Day. I guess I'm memorializing the machinist mates, the engine men that would have been down here, right during service. Let's see if we can see anything here on the plate. USS Little Rock, CL92. Fortunately, without my glasses, everyone, I can't read. Can't read a lot. It probably will show up better than what I am looking at in person. All right, so they get the call here at the throttle board from the pilot house. They acknowledge it. They can control the steam for the low pressure, the high pressure. All right, and then that controls how much steam comes in through the main pipe. There's auxiliary steam pipe right there, 600-pound auxiliary steam pipe. Gets shunted here into the high pressure. They could use the high pressure, of course, if they needed, which they would use. Using the high pressure turbine, you're really not losing that much steam because the blade sizes are different. And you're still keeping a lot of that kinetic energy, the crossover into the low pressure, reduction gear, and then out. Well, all right, everyone. Thanks for checking out the video. I sometimes bring people down here if they are on the curator tour and they really want to see one of the engine spaces. The aft engine room is in very good condition and it's very well lit. So I sometimes bring people down here for a few minutes. Look at that deaerating tank. Wow. All the way down. And again, I'll link that video from the flood of 1978 because then I show a condenser in the forward engine room, which would be right down here. Can't see anything. Thanks again for your support. I wish you a good and reflective Memorial Day. If you've had members of your family, friends, things like that, and we like to remember all of those that sacrificed their lives to make the world safe for democracy. Well, thank you very much, and you know what? We'll see you again soon.